Susan, I have something to ask.
Good morning, Diane. Can I help you with anything?
About the dinner last night, I believe you were not invited. How come you were there?
David invited me.
I planned that dinner party. I did not invite you. Why did you come to the dinner uninvited? People with common sense would certainly not show up to a party uninvited.
I'm sorry.
It's been 6 months since you and David got married. I've asked you before not to attend a party, haven't I?
I believe I'm part of the family now that David and I are married.
But we're not blood relatives.
That should mean Steve, the husband of your daughter, can't attend the dinner either? But I saw him at the dinner last night.
He is an exception. They have children now, so I consider him a family member. You haven't carried out your responsibility as a family member yet. You don't have a child. I'm sorry, but I can't accept you as a family member yet.
Will you accept me as a family member once I have a child?
That's not the only condition. Steve also makes a decent income. Most of all, his education and career bear comparison with those of our families. But your background is a little different, you see.
Because I didn't go to college?
To put it simply, yes. There are more reasons. Like the fact that you were raised by a single mother and you're not well educated. Even the restaurants I choose are too high-end for you. You should never come to dinners again. You don't know table manners.
I've learned table manners since I became an adult. I will have no problem.
Oh, please. You think you're one of us now just because you've learned some table manners?
This is why I don't get along with uneducated people.
You may have no problem, but I do.
Did I misbehave at the dinner?
I wouldn't know. I didn't pay so much attention to you. Anyway, don't ruin our precious family time.
David has told you not to do that. Not to leave me out of the family. You apologized to me before.
I only apologized out of regard for my son. Are you going to tell on me again? That kind of behavior shows your lack of dignity.
I've never told on you. David just noticed.
Oh, did he? I hope I won't get an angry call from him blaming me. Listen, Susan. I'm telling you this for your own sake.
For my sake?
You know, you should know your place. I don't invite you to a dinner because you would feel miserable being somewhere you don't belong.
I never felt miserable. Everyone has been kind to me, including David, Catherine, and Steve. I always look forward to seeing everyone.
They're way too kind. Don't take advantage of their kindness. I wanted my son to have a well-bred, educated wife. It upsets me that in reality, someone like you is at dinner with us instead.
I'm sorry. I'll do my best to gain your approval.
That will never happen. If you understood me, don't ever come to the dinner again.
I understand.
Make up some reason not to come to the dinner when David invites you next time. He won't treat you as well as he does now when you get old. He will dump you when you get old. You will die lonely and miserable. Susan, did you receive the package of cheese I sent you?
Yes, I've just received it. Thank you for such an excellent selection of cheese.
I hope you know.
I know. Everything you sent to our house is for David.
Exactly. Those aren't gifts for you. It's good to know you've learned to behave with a little modesty.
It's written on the delivery slip for David. I wouldn't eat them without permission.
I guess reading is the only thing you can do. You never remember what I say.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, we are going on a family trip for New Year's. We're staying in the luxury hotel for 3 nights.
Yes, David told me. I was glad to know I'm allowed to join the trip. Thank you for your permission.
What? You're going to babysit Catherine's children.
Excuse me?
The place we're going to stay is a luxury, non-child-friendly hotel. Make sure to take good care of them.
Am I staying home?
Obviously. Who do you think is going to pay for the trip? I know David wants to take you with him, but I won't allow him this time. Don't even try to come with us. I don't want to see your stupid face at the start of a new year.
I understand.
Good. We never had this conversation, got it? You tell on me, and you will put our family's relationship in jeopardy. David will inherit my property someday. Your behavior can change my mind about it.
Yes, I will keep that in mind.
If my husband were still alive, he wouldn't approve of you either. You should thank me for allowing you to marry my son.
Yes.
People who grew up in single-parent families are so impudent. It's disgusting. Our family comes from a long line of wealthy landowners. We've always married someone from a good family. David was supposed to marry the daughter of the doctor who lives in Texas. Then you came out of nowhere.
But we love each other. We're happy to have each other.
Ugh, how cheesy. Don't talk to me like we're equals just because you married a rich man.
With all due respect, he's just an ordinary businessman.
He comes from a wealthy family. That's the reason you married him in the first place. Why are you bringing this up now?
I don't care if he's wealthy or comes from a good family.
Yeah, right. Just don't come on the trip with us. That's all I care about. You can't go on a trip when you have children to babysit. Think over what I told you. Know your place and stay humble like the peasant that you are. It's such great weather today, Susan.
It really is.
Isn't it such a perfect day to go on a trip?
It sure is.
Oh, right, you're staying home. Well, you shouldn't complain. Babysitting is the only thing you can do to make yourself useful. We'll enjoy our family trip.
What a coincidence. I'm on a trip with my family too.
Huh? You're on a trip? With your family? Are you traveling with your mother? Did you take Catherine's children with you?
My mother is here, along with David, Catherine, and Steve. We've been having a great time at the hotel since yesterday.
David and Catherine are there? You're kidding, right? You're bluffing. You want to go on a trip so badly that you would lie to me?
We're actually here. I'm sorry, Diane.
What?
I've known for a week now that nobody was going on a trip with you. Nobody will come to the airport to meet you. I feel bad.
That can't be true. There's no way Catherine stood me up.
She says she would never go on a trip leaving her children behind.
I planned this whole trip for her. I was going to help her refresh herself.
Even so, she didn't want to make me babysit her children. Catherine is really warm-hearted, isn't she? David agrees with her. He said he's always been against leaving me out of the family.
But they were excited for the trip.
I know, they tricked you into believing so.
Are they really not coming?
No, we're too far away from the airport. Enjoy your trip alone. It really is a great day to go on a trip.
Shut it! Where is everyone?
I can't tell you that.
Are you actually telling me to spend New Year's holiday alone? I booked an expensive hotel. Don't mess with me. Are you trying to embarrass me?
We came to an agreement that we don't care about you or what will happen to you.
Susan, did you agree on that too?
Yes.
You're my daughter-in-law. You're supposed to listen to everything I say.
Think about the way you've treated me. How can you think I would listen to what you say?
I've been strict with you because David will be the head of the family someday. You need to behave properly as a wife of the head of the family. Otherwise, you will bring disgrace on your family. I play the bad guy for you.
I'm sure. I only took your treatment as harassment.
That wasn't my intention. Hey, I haven't been able to reach David or Catherine.
Oh, they said they blocked you.
Susan, please, tell them to answer my call.
I don't want to. I have to go. We should enjoy our trip.
Hold on! Susan! You won't get away with this! You'll regret this when you come back from a trip. Susan, there's something I'd like to tell you.
I have nothing to say. I already told you yesterday.
I'm done with you. I'd like to apologize for everything I've done.
I don't need your apology.
I'm going out of my way to apologize to you.
Even now, you've always disrespected me. You've always criticized me for being raised in a fatherless family, for not going to college. I want nothing to do with someone like you.
That was my fault. But I used to dream of a perfect daughter-in-law. I couldn't help but compare.
I've always been excluded from the family since David and I got married. I've been told that I'm not one of the family, that I don't belong in the family because of where I come from. Those are the things you've been telling me, aren't they?
Yes, but I will accept you from now on. David and Catherine gave me a lecture about my behavior. I regret what I've done.
You can regret as much as you want, but it won't change my feelings.
I'm making a compromise here. How impudent are you? What more do you want to blame me for?
Your behavior like that? I didn't ask for a compromise. You're only apologizing to me because David and Catherine wouldn't talk to you otherwise.
No. I feel that my criticism might have crossed the line.
Then don't ever judge people based on their educational background or their upbringing. That's all I ask for. I will cut ties with you.
Susan, I will accept you as a daughter-in-law. I sincerely apologize for my behavior. So, would you forgive and forget? Let's behave like adults. Conflicts happen between mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws. No need to be so stubborn.
You're not in a position to decide. This isn't just discord between mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. I've tried my best to win your approval. Now I realized it was unnecessary.
I'm saying I recognize your effort now. Why aren't you happy about it?
Catherine told me you were planning behind our backs to make David remarry someone else. You've already found a woman to make his new wife. I don't believe a single word coming from someone who plots something like that.
I'd be all alone if David and Catherine break off relations with me. There would be no one to take care of the house.
Why don't you pass it to one of your relatives?
Why would I give away my property to someone in a branch family? I've worked so hard to protect my property.
David and Catherine value something else over family property. They left you because of your obsession with money and status. I have nothing more to say to you. David and I will have a happy, peaceful life together.
I'm really sorry, Susan. I apologize for everything. So please don't break off our relations. Please convince David to change his mind.
No, I made up my mind, and so did David. We decided to lead a happy life surrounded with kind people that we love. Diane, who will die alone and miserable, me or you? After David and Catherine severed their relations with Diane, she shut herself in a large, lonely house. David and Catherine have always felt repulsion towards Diane's obsession with money and status. Diane had been opposed to Catherine's marrying anybody until she married Steve. Catherine was allowed to marry Steve only because he had a career Diane approved of. Catherine said, laughing, that she would have been single still if she had not met Steve. Diane was devastated by the fact that her own son and daughter left her. A neighbor who ran into Diane said she looked depressed and aged. Nonetheless, David and Catherine said it was good medicine for her. They seemed to have no intention of reconnecting with her again. Diane has always looked down on everyone and had no friends. That was probably why she was so attached to her family. But now her family gave up on her. She must be having a sad, lonely life alone. I was very happy to go on a trip with my family in the beginning of a new year. I am happy and grateful to be surrounded with a lot of warm-hearted people. To have a supportive husband and a sister-in-law who always cares about me. I will never forget their kindness and will continue to repay them by giving them all the support.